Walter here is not a big fan of being touched unless it's on his terms. See how he's kind of turning away every time I'm trying to do this. Now, he's always been kind of aloof like this, and we were just talking about the breeder said that he was very independent, the most independent dog in the litter. So one of the things I'm doing, and if you have a dog that's like this, sometimes it's because the dog gets petted so much it doesn't have to ask for it. If that's not the case for you, and you have a dog that's like Walter, where when you go like this, he tries to shy away. For dogs, sometimes it's a confidence issue. When a dog feels good about itself, his nose is parallel to the ground or tilted upward. Insecure dogs have their head tilted down. So if we pet a dog on top of the head, a lot of times their orientation goes down. So it's important whenever possible we try to pet a dog under his chin. I've seen a couple cases where the dog, come here buddy, let's get a little more distance, doesn't feel worthy of that, and so it kind of shies away from it. Come here, buddy. Let's show your better side to the camera. There we go. So now what I'm doing is I'm letting him have a treat, and while he's chewing on the treat, I'm petting him. Now the treat's almost gone, I have a little bit left. And so you saw, as soon as the treat was gone, he kind of started moving away. Well, what we can do is after a while, we've been practicing this a little bit, is hold the treat here now, let him sniff, but before he's actually licking on it, I'm going to pet him before he gets the chance to get it. And then I'm squishing the treat and letting him nibble out of my hand about in 3 or 4 bites. And it's really just, I want him to start to associate contact with more of a pleasurable thing. I'm not saying it's not pleasurable for him, but it's definitely more of a on my terms sort of scenario. Sit. So you saw he was getting ready to move away as soon as I started presenting the treat, even though I'm not giving it to him. It's close enough. It's within a couple inches of his nose. A lot of people I see when the dog goes for the treat and they go like, well, you go take it away that far away, it's clearly not for the dog. But you go like here, it's clearly for the dog, you just keep it within a couple inches of his nose. So this is a very unusual, I've never done the video like this before, this is why I decided to do this one, is I would like him to get to the point where he doesn't shy away from affection. So now after 3 or 4 treats, now I'm able to pet him here, and at least on his shoulder, he's not trying to move away. Now if I go underneath his chin, still shied away a little bit, but at the end, it wasn't right away. And so I think if we can get Walter, more accommodate or more accustomed to us petting him when we want to pet him as opposed to when he wants, I think it'll help with this. I think overall, he's got a very independent streak to him. And I think that manifests sometimes in territoriality. It probably influences his behavior with other dogs. He doesn't like when other dogs come and stick their chin over him. Well, that's a form of domination. So that's not by itself something that we would necessarily think is a problem. Because if somebody came and tried to dominate me as a person, I would have a problem with that myself. And so now we don't want to take it too far. But right there, so the guardian is now kind of engaging with him a little bit and a little bit closer to the nose. There you go. So we're going to start using the treats as kind of our leverage to keep his attention with us, and then start petting him first and then delivering the treat slightly after. Now when you first start doing this, you might have to do what I just did in the first part of the video, where he was chewing on the treat and then I started to pet him. But now we transition to the point where we're petting him with the treat very close proximity to his nose, and then after we start petting him a little bit, then the treat comes. And if you do that 2 or 3 times in a row, we should start to see some residual carryover, like I was able to touch his shoulder, pet him under his chin without him immediately trying to move away. So I'd like to continue trying to do this until we get to the point where Walter no longer shies away when we try to pet him. So maybe this becomes a petting exercise. I've never actually had to do one where we incorporate a treat with the petting, but hey, this is the great thing about working with all the dogs that I work with. I learn something new every day. And now we have a dog that we can pet a little bit and he's not trying to run away. Again, we'd like your head up a little bit, Walter. Yes, we want you to feel good and confident. Yes. I don't think confidence is your issue, but maybe a little bit of a self-esteem thing. All right, so this is how you can use some positive reinforcement to add to the positive reinforcement of petting a dog to keep the dog from moving away.